or you can click on this number. Either one is fine. Okay, date is coming automatically. From where it is coming, you will understand later. The voucher number is coming from somewhere else. You will understand this one later. Select the vendor name. Vendor. Select the vendor. I'm just entering vendor. Now you have received invoice copy, because if it is material received, then you will receive invoice copy from the vendor. That invoice number you need to enter here. Invoice number you need to enter here. Some invoice number and date. Maybe today date. This invoice maybe today, or maybe yesterday, or day before yesterday. Whatever the date it is there, that it will not be future date, because if invoice is generating in future date, how you will receive? It is impossible. Okay, so it may be today date, or it may be yesterday date, or day before yesterday, or 3 days before date, whatever it is. Now during vendor invoice, vendor account credit, so that's what we are entering. What is the purpose of this vendor invoice? Means you have received, suppose, like tissue papers. What is the purpose of this tissue papers? You are arranging in the toilets for your employees. Whenever they are going, they will use this tissue papers. Okay, I'm facilitating this tissue papers, and this is expenses, purchase expenses account. Purchase expenses account data to vendor account credit. So here, if you enter vendor means vendor account credit, automatically this will be debited. You can click on save. Then it will show you debit amount $45, credit amount $45. Look at this one. Debit 45, credit 45, balance 0. And debit 45, credit 45, balance 0. One is in currency, means accounting currency. Another one is reporting currency. So currencies are in the system. There will be 3 currencies you are going to learn. One is transaction currency. Second one is accounting currency. Third one is reporting currency. One more word is available, triangulation currency. At this point, it is not required. I will give you clarification on this one later. You are going to learn primarily these 3: transaction currency, accounting currency, reporting currency. Triangulation currency will be used for Germany only, for Europe only. For Europe countries, if you are implementing in Europe, it may be required, otherwise not required. Okay, that one we'll discuss later. So the currencies, one is in accounting currency, another one is reporting currency. 45 you have entered, debit 45, credit 45, debit 45, credit 45, the balance is 0. If it is tallied, balance 0, then it will allow you to post the transaction. I am clicking on post. I am clicking on post button. So for this voucher, it will not take time. It will be posted immediately. If you go to the voucher, it will show you the voucher immediately. Voucher will be displayed automatically. Here, expenses, office expenses account data to expenses account debit and vendor account credit. The vendor account credit. But here it is posting to 200110. 200110, but I have selected vendor account 1001. It was posted to some account that is called ledger subledger concept. You are going to learn later. Once again, that is one more topic. You are going to learn ledger subledger concept. Okay, now expenses account data to vendor account credit. Okay, any doubt in this small information, like a very small function, invoice journal posting, expenses account data to vendor account credit? One is
Satya, I have one question.
Yeah.
So why we have both debit and credit option there?
So if you are entering here, suppose if it is a vendor payment, I will enter vendor account debit. The same journal, it is same. This is invoice journal. Now let me go to vendor payment. Next one is payments, vendor payments. If you click on new, select the journal name, vendor payment. In the back end, all journals are seeing the same screen, but in the front end, it was different. So while doing this vendor payment, I will enter debit rather than credit.
For the same invoice.
Yeah. For the screen is actually, it is different front end, but in the back end table level, it is same. Now I will enter debit because it is a vendor payment. If it is a vendor payment, I will select debit. If it is an invoice, I will select credit. Okay.
But both the fields are enabled, right? So even I can enter the debit value while creating the invoice also.
Yeah.
But logically, it is not correct.
It is not correct. If you are trying to post with credit with bank payment, it will throw error message. Suppose it will show you warning message if it is relevant. If you are doing like this, if you are generating check payment, suppose if you are generating check payment, I will show you, then it will throw error messages because while generating check payment. But this is your responsibility. You need to take care of which one is debit, which one is credit. You need to take care. So global ERPs, any global ERPs, it will give you debit and credit open. But whereas in a small application like Tally, it will allow you, it will show you only one field, one field, debit or credit. But in global ERPs, whether it is Dynamics AX or Dynamics F&O or SAP, whether it is like Wings Focus or any global ERPs, Oracle apps, any global ERPs, it will show you debit and credit. It is your responsibility. I mean to say, real-time scenario, you are not going to do these things. This vendor invoice, vendor payment is not your task at all. It is like accountants or business users, they will do it. Then why you are learning? Initially, if you don't know about business users tasks, you cannot help them. So that is the reason we are learning vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment. After learning, you are going to learn actual task. So debit and credits, who will do this one? It is done by accountants. You are not going to become an accountant. You are going to become a finance functional consultant. So that is the reason, without this knowledge about debit and credits, there are many people in the market, finance consultants. They don't know debit and credit clearly. But I don't want my students should be confusion about debits and credits. You should be very much strong in debits and credits as well. Okay, fine. One of our person is asking. Yeah.
Satya, is there any restriction that we can restrict the credit during the vendor payment?
So,
as a functional consultant, can we restrict to enter the credit value?
While doing generate payment, let me show you, but not all, in only vendor payment. Suppose I'm doing generate payment here. I need to do generate payment. You are going to learn this one slowly. So if I'm clicking OK, and it will throw error message only for vendor payment. Whereas customer payment, it will not show. Check will not be generated. It will throw error message.
Okay. Got it.
But not for customer. For vendor, it will show you the error message. Okay, this should be debit for vendors. For customers, if you are doing that one, it will allow you to post. So that is your responsibility to verify. Okay, we'll discuss that one in depth. Fine. Now, if you are doing vendor payment, it is bank is selected, offset account bank. Now let me discuss about vendor payment. We understood vendor invoice last Friday also we understood. Now we are learning vendor payment. While doing vendor payment, our cash or bank balance will be decreased. Agree with me? If you are doing bank payment, your bank balance are decreased. So you need to apply this rule, real accounts. Debit means what comes in, credit means what goes out. So it is going out. So it is credit. I'm sorry, it is credit. Negative. If you are doing vendor payment, my cash balance will be decreased. So credit means what goes out. And earlier here we have posted vendor account credit. Now you need to post vendor account debit. So at the time of vendor payment, our cash balance or bank balance is decreasing, and opposite entry it is debit. Vendor account data to cash or bank credit. Vendor account data to cash or bank credit. So that is the reason you are doing, whenever you are doing vendor payment, you need to enter debit vendor and credit the bank. Credit the bank means automatically it is selecting bank. Okay, and here the check, method of payment check, the method of payment check. What is this method of payment check means? So here we are doing method of payment check. Give me a minute. This is for other batch I have discussed. In India we will use CHEQE. In India we will use CHEQUE, but in global it is CHECK. Okay, in USA it will be used like. Now it should be printed like this. The name and amount, date and everything. That's what we are generating check. Generate payments means if you keep a check leaf in the printer, automatically it will generate. That's what we are doing now, generate payments. So that setups are here in the method of payment check, method of payment it is there. You will understand slowly all those things. Method of payment check, and bank is USMF operations. Click OK. So this is the check number 823. Check number is coming automatically. From where it is coming I will discuss with you later. You are going to understand setups slowly. Now remember, if you click on document, it will be printer. The connection will be, it will be go to the printer only always. Because if suppose you are practicing in your company system or you are practicing in your home, at that time also if you have any printers, default printers, it will be printed automatically. One printing will be wasted, your papers will be wasted. So if you have default printer setup in your laptop or in your systems, in your company or in your home, please click on document and select the screen. Otherwise it will be printed automatically, one paper will be wasted. If it is A4 like some bond paper kind of thing, A4 stationery important papers, it will be wasted your papers. That is the reason I'm selecting screen. Okay, click OK and click OK. Now it is processing. It will take a minute time, 1 minute time. It is generating means it is printing in the, the instructions will be go to the printer and it will print on the check. It will be printed on the check. That's what it is doing now. It will take 1 minute time. Please wait. Okay, it is going on. Now check number is empty here. Now it will be filled. It will be filled here. So whenever you are generating first time the check generation, it will take 2 to 3 minutes time in your local systems. If it is a 16 GB RAM, if it is a server like a client system, it may take 10 seconds to 20 seconds. But in real time scenario, actually the reason behind it is connections between SSRS and X++ is establishing while doing generating of print check. Second time the same check if I am generating, it will take very less time rather than this much. I will show you one more check payment and it will be quicker second time onwards. First time it will take some time. Yes, please. Any questions? Okay, it is, if you want to take a printout, you can take a printout by clicking open, or you can save this one, whatever you want. I'm not doing anything. Check number is generated and you can click on post button. Okay, now if you verify the voucher, vendor account data to bank account credit. So vendor account data to bank account credit. Let me do quickly one more transaction. Now it will be faster. I'm clicking on new once again, new, select the vendor payment. From the drop down, you can select the journal name, go to lines, select the vendor, and suppose now I'm entering $51 bank. Now the check number you cannot enter manually. It will not allow you. This is disabled. You need to click on generate payments. Click OK. If you have default printer, you need to click on document and modify printer to screen. If you don't have anything, no issues, you can click on OK. Now look at this one. This time it is very quicker. So it was generated very quicker now. Only first time it will take. Next number, check number 824, and you can click on post button. This is vendor payment. So how to do these setups, bank, how to create, how to do this method of payments, everything you are going to learn one by one slowly. So vendor account data to bank account credit. So while doing vendor payment, so our bank balance is decreasing. So I need to decrease the value of the bank. So bank amounts will be decreased. So what goes out credit, and here it is positive. This is positive. Vendor account will be positive. Any questions in this one? Earlier we learned about invoice journal. If it is invoice journal means, vendor account credit, if it is invoice journal means vendor account credit, because the giver credit and expenses debit. Here expenses or losses debit. If it is a vendor invoice, debit the receiver, so customer account debit, and credit income or gains, that is revenue. If it is a vendor payment, then it is my bank balance or cash balance is decreasing, credit what goes out, and opposite entry vendor debit. Okay, so chart of accounts classification, let us understand. Chart of accounts we have discussed on last Friday, but let us discuss. One is assets, two liabilities, three equities, four sales revenue, okay, give me a second, five purchase expenses or cost of goods, six expenses, seven other incomes, eight appropriation. So assets, liabilities, equities is a part of balance sheet. In the balance sheet, assets and liabilities, equities is a subset of liability. So assets will be positive always, asset balances will be always positive, liabilities and equities will be always negative, and then four revenue, five purchase expenses or cost of goods, six expenses, seven other incomes, eight appropriation means it is calculation, net effect, net profit or net loss, whatever it is there, that will be calculated in the 8 series. So here it is balance sheet side, I want positive, more positive, then my company is in a healthy condition. In P&L side, negative should be there, more negative should be there. So incomes or gains should be negative, expenses is positive. It is quite opposite behavior from balance sheet side to P&L side. So this is chart of accounts. So trial balance is equal to balance sheet plus profit and loss account should be 0. So balance sheet side assets should be more, P&L side here positive should be there, and here it is negative should be more. Then only my company is in a good shape. Okay, this is chart of accounts classification. The numbering, it is as a best practice, it is not a rule, it is a best practice. For understanding purpose, I'm giving numbering like this. So if you want to, like client wants one series means one means revenue accounts, yes, you can use it, but this is a best practice, but not, this is not a rule. Whereas this one is a rule. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Debit means what comes in, credit means what goes out, and debit the expenses and losses, credit the incomes and gains is a rule. These are rules you need to follow. Rule means you cannot question, but whereas best practices, it is I'm suggesting you need to follow like this. If you want to follow, you can follow. If you don't want, your wish, no issues. So chart of accounts are classified into balance sheet and profit and loss account. So balance sheet means assets, liabilities. As per commas, only two, assets and liabilities. But in our dynamics F&O, we have added extra three. equities, and incomes and gains and expenses. Incomes are classified into two. One is sales revenue and other incomes, and expenses are classified into purchase expenses and expenses. Purchase expenses means goods. If you are purchasing, means if you are purchasing material, then it is a purchase expenses. For trading means for selling. Here it is expenses is you are purchasing material for your consumption purpose. I mean to say you are consuming or you are facilitating to your employees. That is 6. And 7 is other incomes, means bank interest or rent received. So 7 series ledger accounts are very less in real term scenario. Equity is also very less and revenue accounts also very less. But revenue accounts it will be more, purchase expenses will be more, expenses will be more. More chart of accounts will be there in the system. Okay, you will understand those things in the system slowly tomorrow. Chart of accounts where it is available, everything you are understanding. You are going to understand slowly one by one. Okay, any questions, please? Anyone?
Hi, Satya.
Yes, please.
Can you please elaborate more on equities and appropriation?
So equities means investors. These are investors. Whoever is invested money, those will be shown like all investors will be mapped here. And during year-end process, it will be profit will be transferred to retained earnings. So the retained earnings will be part of this one. Okay, in appropriation, there will be a lot. Means suppose while doing foreign currency revaluation, realized gain, realized loss will be posted. Unrealized gain, unrealized loss.
Isn't realized gain part of sales revenue or other income?
No.
Okay.
Because this will be volatile, it is keep on changing, right? These expenses and incomes.
Okay.
This keep on changing. If it is exchange rate is increased, sometimes it is decreased. It will be gain and losses will be there. And not only this one, if you are selling fixed asset, there will be loss or gain of fixed asset.
Okay.
So all these accounts will be mapped here, and at last you are going to get the final net profit or net loss. From this one, you are going to get gross profit.
Okay.
So of course, this is the gross profit. This is the gross profit, and this one is net profit. But to get accurate balances, you need to have all these things.
Okay.
So accountants will have a lot of ledger. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like appreciation and depreciation.
All it may be so many. It may be so many, like taxes, like the example. These are the best examples. Realized gain, realized loss, unrealized gain, unrealized loss, loss of or gain of fixed asset, selling. At the time of selling fixed asset, you are going to get loss or gain. That will be posted like this. And advanced tax amount in during investors, whoever is there, you need to pay some advanced tax. Am I right? So those also it will be part of here. This is accountants, they will do a lot in the calculations. Okay.
Satya. Yeah. Bad debts recovery also will comes under this appropriation.
Sorry, come again.
Bad debts recovery from provisions, right? BBD. Bad debts.
Bad debts, it will be expenses only.
Part of P&L.
If it will not recovered, Satya, if it will not recovered.
These all also can be make it like this only. Here only expenses and income. If you want, you can keep it. But usually accountants, they will make it separately because this is keep on changing the values. For best practices, it is appropriation is there. If you don't like it, this can be a part of expenses only. You can keep there only. If you don't like it, you can incorporate that one. This is accountants, how they want, they can do it. It is not your responsibility or your decision, but you are going to propose. Okay, let me show you that one in the system. If you are still have doubts, let me show you. general ledger, collapse all, chart of accounts, and then here chart of accounts. So I'm taking one chart of accounts like shared set of accounts. This is one chart of accounts. So here one series assets, two series liabilities. Look at this one. Two series liabilities. Next, three series equities. Equities is very, very less. If you look at this one, two series there are many. Just give me a minute, it is loading. So three series, it is very less, very few. Okay, four series revenue accounts, sales revenue, through sales, whatever you are getting. Here, this is not a rule. That's why I'm telling you, this is not a rule. Your wish. 5 series purchase expenses or cost of goods, COGs. And 6 series is expenses. It will be huge. Expenses in any company, it will be huge. There are many. 6 series, it will be many. It will take so much time to move this one, because
Again,
there will
we need to prepare, right? These under real time.
Sorry?
We need to prepare. In real time, we need to prepare all these general
Not at
ledgers.
This is actually you need to create one only. This will be accountant's responsibility. Accountant will give you the accounts. Am I right? Accountants, they are already using this application. Like I mean to say, their own application earlier, whatever it is there in the legacy system, they will have their ledger accounts. They will give you ledger accounts, and at that time, if it is in shuffling, the account numbers are shuffling. You are going to propose like this in a structured manner. Got it?
Yes.
You are going to propose. If the customer is accepted, you are going to like making similar group items in one. Like, see, I will tell you one example. In your home, can you keep your chappals in the kitchen?
No.
Like otherwise, oil packets can we keep in the bedrooms? No. So why it is? Is there any rule? Nothing. For similar kind of items, are making one place. In the same manner, here also, this is for easy to understand. We are mapping like this. This is accountants, they will take care. It is not your responsibility.